many people, if they're even aware of it, will be dismissing as just more of the same old bullshit, the crisis that has struck in the U.S. House of Representatives, with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy about to be ousted. They couldn't be more mistaken if that's what people think. Because the ousting of McCarthy will mean, until a new speaker is elected, which could take a long, long time, it will mean the shutdown of the entire legislative wing of the U.S. government, because no legislation can be passed if one of the two houses, which is, in this case means the House of Representatives, doesn't vote on it. Now, this paralysis could last beyond the 45-day limit of the stopgap spending measure, which means then that the entire federal government would shut down. More important even than these immediate issues is an understanding of what lies behind it. And there, what we see is the entire Republican Party is beholden to its most extreme wing, what can be called the QAnon wing. And all you have to do is look at House Speaker McCarthy to understand that. And look at what he's done. He's been flapping around like a flag in the wind. Right after January 6th, he condemned Donald Trump. Then he went down to Mar-a-Lago and kissed his ring. He made a deal with Biden about the debt limit spending. Then he turned right around and violated that deal. He's authorized this ridiculous impeachment hearings of Biden, which have no basis in actual fact. And that has nothing to do with whether you like Biden and whether you like his politics or not. And to understand why McCarthy has been flapping around like this, all you have to do is remember two names. One is Liz Cheney, who voted in favor of the impeachment of Trump, and she lost in her primary by a 2-1 majority. The other is Adam Kinzinger, who also voted in favor of impeachment of Trump, and he didn't even run for re-election because he knew it was so hopeless. And McCarthy himself, if he stands up to the QAnon wing, first and foremost Trump himself, he himself would face the same fate. And that goes for nearly the entire Republican Party. Their base is gripped by QAnon thinking. Now, there's some rumors that the Democrats are trying to work out a deal with McCarthy to keep him in as Speaker of the House. And, rumors, it's like smoke. Where there's smoke, there's fire. So they probably are talking about that. But the question is whether it's possible. I don't think it's ruled out, but it's unlikely, because all the Democrats say that you can't trust McCarthy, exactly because he keeps vacillating from one wing to the other there. Now, as this continues, this has global implications. It means the decline in power of U.S. capitalism, U.S. imperialism all around the world. Now, some might say, well, that's good. But the question is, what will step into its place? It will mean, in the absence of a world working class movement, it will mean the rise in influence of on the one hand, of two rival imperialists, Chinese and Russian imperialism, and also the increased independence of a whole host of sub-imperialist powers. But they even would be under the dominance of Russian and Chinese imperialism. That's what they mean by a multipolar world. So we're talking about the increased fragmentation and chaos all around the world. And the old world, of course, the old world order of U.S. domination didn't provide any answer either. Domestically, there's going to be a sense of an increased sense of chaos at home. And as far as the Democrats, you're going to see they will continue to try to cling to the era of old, bygone era of Democratic and Republican collaboration, because the Democrats are based on the survival of capitalist democracy, and the Republicans now are based on the QAnon thinking and the dominance of some rogue politician similar to Trump, and the development really of a strong man or a one-person dictatorship around the QAnon and extreme right-wing thinking. On the other hand, the Democrats, if they don't, which they don't have any alternative to that, then what you're going to see is, if they take complete power in 2024 and they continue to try to return to days gone by, then you're going to see the increased influence of somebody of the Mark Milley type, which is to say, increased influence of a so-called supposedly stabilizing power, which would be the U.S. military. That's what the future holds without an independent working class movement. For more on these issues and this perspective on things, check out my blog site, oaklandsocialist.com.